Hello, everyone. This is In the Beginning Was the Word, and my name is Patricia Dixon. I was driving home from work this evening. I live here in California, and we're always in traffic. And I was meditating on Psalms, the 37th chapter, the 4th verse, where it says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires and the secret petitions of your heart." So this video is just going to be a testimony video because I believe that my testimony might help someone. I'm going to testify about how God gave me a secret petition, a desire of my heart, because it shows, it demonstrates how important we are to God. See, He deals with us individually. Our own personal individual needs, He's in tune to that. The Bible says He inclines His ear to us. Incline means like this. He's listening. He inclines His ear to us. So I just want to testify about how He has given me a desire of my heart. Now, I was adopted. I haven't told my YouTube audience this before. But at the age of 4, my mother died and she left 8 children behind. She was only 39 years old. She had 8 children. I was the next to the youngest. I was 4 years old. I had a baby sister under me who was like a 1.5, and we were just staircase kids. And in fact, I was with my mother when she died. Now, my baby sister that was a year and a half old, she was adopted into a family. Myself and my brother that was next to me was adopted. And you've heard me talk about my father with the 5th grade education, the hard-working, good father that I had. Well, he adopted me. He and my mother, they adopted me. They already had a son, a grown son, when they adopted me and my brother. Okay, the rest of my brothers, it was four more boys. They went to an orphanage. Back then, they had orphanages. They didn't have foster care back then. This was in the 60s. So when you're in those homes, it's a foster home, but it was kind of like a school as well. So they got their little, education, K through 12 or whatever. And then at 18, they were free to go. So, and then I had 2 older siblings who were already adults when my mom died. So my mom died at 39 years old. And as a 4-year-old, you don't remember how your mother looked. You don't know, you can't remember that. And she wasn't married to my biological father. Now, my other siblings, the first 5, they had, she was with their father. And they all had the same father. But he got killed in some kind of a fight. So then she was single, and she had the other 3 of us. My brother that got adopted with me, he's 2 years older than me. Myself and my younger sister, we were conceived by different men. So I met my biological father when I was about 16. So my adopted parents, they never cut me off from my biological family. They let me keep, in touch with them. So I knew who all plus I remembered them all because I was 4 when this all happened. But my parents never, they lived in another small city about 2.5 hours from the city that they raised me in. My parents, when they adopted me, my father was 45 years old and my mother was 50, and I thought they were so old because all of my classmates' parents were a lot younger. Okay, so all of the times when I was growing up, I always wanted to know how my mother looked. Now, all of my mother's family, they are all still in that same town. And I remember asking everybody, all of my mother's families, did you have a picture, just one photo of my mother? And nobody had one. I mean, they had photos of everybody, but it's like not one photo. They had nobody. And I had been asking this for years. Okay, so my biological father, his family, I met his mother, which was my grandmother. I met his sisters and a cousin of mine, which is one of his sister's daughter. So, and he's deceased now as well. But I never really believed that he was my father. And the reason is because I didn't look anything like him. So I really didn't look too much like my siblings. At least I couldn't see it. Well, especially the five that had a different father. Now the last three of us, my brother, myself, and the sister under me, we have some resemblance. But the thing is, I didn't know how my mother looked, and everybody wants to know how their mother looks. So my cousin on my dad's side, who's like a couple of years older than me, she didn't know my mother either. I mean, I left there, like I say, when I was 4, and she had no idea because my biological father and my mother, they weren't married anyway. So this cousin decided to start a Facebook page for just the family on that side, on my father's side. And so she would post, I don't know where she would collect all these photos, old photos, but she would always post photos of family members. And I didn't know any of those people, to be honest, because I had never met them. I didn't grow up around them. But whenever she would post a photo of my father or my grandmother, which she knew I knew, she would tag me to make sure I saw it. And so she would tag me all the time. And this was like 4 years ago when she started this. And when she tagged me, I would look at, there's my grandmother, and there's my father, and I would like save the photo or whatever. So one time, I was sitting at my desk and she tagged me in, a photo of my dad. At this particular time, I'm 50 years old. I'm 53 years old right now. I had just had my 50th birthday. I've been looking for a picture of my mother, had been searching all those years for a photo of my mother. So I had even gone on Ancestry.com, because sometimes on Ancestry.com, I see people post photos, and I was just trying everything. Maybe somebody posted a photo over on there. I paid money to get a membership, but this is how badly I wanted to see a photo of my mother. Now remember, this cousin I'm telling you about, who had this Facebook page, she still has it, where she posts photos of families. It's the families on my father's side. This relative have never met my mother or knew anything about her. Like I said, she's only a couple of years older than me. So this particular day, I'm sitting at my desk at work, and she tags me on Facebook, and so and she says, "Here's a picture of your daddy with some woman. I don't know who this woman is, because I guess he was a player or whatever." And so I look at the photo, and the first thing I noticed is this woman. I start to see one of my brother's daughters in her. And then I saw my baby sister's son in her. And I say, this woman looks like some family members. So I immediately saved the photo to my phone, and I sent it to a cousin in the town that I was born, the town that all my biological family's in. And my oldest sister is in that town right now. She still lives there. And I had no idea she was even over to my cousin's house, because in these small towns, everybody's at everybody's houses all the time. So, but I didn't know my sister was even over there. And so I just sent the picture to a cousin and said, do you know who this woman is? And she messaged me back and said, "That's your mother." Now, I want you to understand how this made me feel, because you got to realize I have been searching for years, searching for a picture of my mother, a mother that I had never seen. She died when I was 4 years old. In fact, I was with my mother when she died. I was with her when they rolled her out of the house on the gurney. When she died, I was 4 years old. So I had been searching for years, and God knew that I had been searching. And after all of that searching, He dropped it right in my lap. And the person that dropped it in my lap didn't even know they had the photo. So my knees are weak. I'm sitting at work, and my knees are weak because I have a photo. It's been confirmed by my cousin and my oldest sister. She said, "That's mother." So I get up, because I have the photo saved to my phone, and I walk to every cubicle and I show it to people. It's a black and white photo. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. It's a black and white photo. And I take it to everybody. I go to every cubicle. Who just look like? They say, "That's you, Pat." I don't care who I go, white or black. I went to every cubicle. Who does this look like? That's you, Pat. You dressed up because you know how you have those black and white photos you take and you dress up in old clothes. And, that's what they thought it was. It's like I had gone to some carnival or something. And that's you, Pat. They just kept saying that. And I just went from cubicle to cubicle to cubicle at work. Then, because see, one thing is, all my family on my mother's side had always told me that I looked like my mother. Because see, you want to look like somebody. You want to look like your mother. That's natural. But I thought they were just telling me that because to make me feel good. Because they know how badly I wanted to see her. Because I had told everybody that I really didn't think I was in the family. I had told people, I said, because I don't look like any of you people, I believe I was switched at birth and then adopted. That's what I had come to the conclusion. Because you know how you can get switched at birth? And so I'm thinking my mother brought the wrong baby home and then she died and then I got adopted. That's what I thought. And as far as the man being my father, I didn't believe that either because I didn't look like him. And another thing is, I really, in my own mind, didn't think that they had a relationship, my mom and dad. I thought it was kind of like a one-night stand thing. And that's why I figured he might not even be the father. Now, in small towns, everybody knows who's everybody's. You don't even have to take a DNA test. They'll say, that's your daddy. So I remember saying when I was younger, I would tell my relatives, that's not my father. And they would scold me, that's your daddy. So they know without even a DNA test. But my thinking was, well, you weren't there. I mean, they might have seen them together, but you weren't there, you know what I'm saying, when it really happened. So I said, so in my mind, I never really thought he was my father because I don't look anything like him. And I thought that they never had a real loving relationship, that they were, boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm thinking it was a one-night stand. That's all these years I'm thinking all this. So then I get this photo of the two of them together. There's two things God did for me in just one photo. Two things God did for me in one photo. One of them was he showed me my mother for the first time. And he showed me that I look exactly like her. Because after that, I posted the photo on Facebook and I asked everybody, who does this person look like? And everybody on Facebook said, that's you. And everybody thought it was me in some old clothes, dressed up. Everybody just, that's you. So because I didn't want to believe it because I was just so excited that I had finally gotten a photo of her. And then people said it looks like me. So I tell you, I went to every cubicle at work, and then that wasn't enough. Then I finally posted it on Facebook. And everybody thought it was me. So that photo confirmed two things for me. Because the photo of my mom and dad, it had them dressed up nicely as though they were on a date and that they cared for each other. You don't know what that did for me. Because first of all, I didn't even think they had a relationship. God knew that. See, God knew what was in my heart. He knew that I didn't think they had even had a relationship. Nevertheless, I didn't think I'd ever see my mom. But this photo confirms both things. God waited till I was 50 years old after searching for years. Those were the desires of my heart. And it meant everything to me. And that shows you how much God cares for you. And he will give you the desires of your heart. No matter what, no matter how long you wait, no matter how insignificant it might be to somebody else, but it's important to you. And God loves you so much that he's such a personable God that he wants to make sure he gives you what you want. It might be silly to somebody else. I'm going to show you this photo. That's my mother and my father. And as you can see, they look like they're happy and on a date. I don't know whether it was before she got pregnant with me or after. It's probably before. Now, I have photos of me that looks exactly like that because I used to be 94 pounds as well. And I have so many photos of me looking just like that. But I had to get confirmation from everybody else. And everybody said, that's your mother. After I told everybody, well, it's not me, because everybody thought it was me. But then I testified at work. I went to certain cubicles and I testified. I said, do you know how long I've been wanting this? I said, do you know how long I've been searching for this? I told them the whole story because they didn't know what was going on. But I had to testify and let them know that God did this. God gave me the desires of my heart. I've been looking since I was a teenager, and it fell in my lap without me doing anything. I'm just sitting at my desk working, and it fell in my lap after years of searching. I didn't pay one dime for it. And I just want to say that. I just want to testify to you, for anybody out there that has given up. Maybe that's something you've been asking God for years, and you've just given up. But see, because I had given up. To be honest, I had given up. I had just put it out of my mind. And right when I wasn't even thinking about it anymore, at 50 years old, God hadn't given up, and he just dropped it in my lap. And I'm just so thankful for that. And there's several other things that God has done for me during the years that he has given me the desires of my heart. Things that I just, small things. It's not all of a sudden the big thing. I know you may say, well, I'm praying for a healing. You know, that's big and significant if you need healing in your body. I'm praying for this, I'm praying, but he cares for the small things too. That's how much he loves you. He loves everything about you. Whatever concerns you concerns him. That's the kind of God we serve. And I just wanted to testify about the goodness of God, and how in Psalms, the 32nd verse, the 37th chapter, the 4th verse, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires and the secret petitions of your heart. Have a blessed day.